back to the Helotes Echo YouTube channel. It's December 3rd, it's game of the week, and it's regional final time. 6A Division II, Brandeis versus Steele. Both teams 12-1, both teams coming off convincing wins. Yeah. Brandeis 42-14 over Brownsville Rivera, and Steele 48-17 over Weslaco East. Steele 2 weeks ago eliminated Brennan, and they do a lot of things well.
They're getting better. They earlier in the year I thought they were okay, but now they have kicked it into gear and they really look like Steele.
And we're gonna show you a couple of their highlights from that game against Brennan. Apologies to the Bears fans. Y'all had a good run up until that game. So that Steele quarterback, as we see here against
watch him right here.
The first play.
Good block on his left, and there he goes. God, I remember that play. That was the very first play of the game. He just broke it, and that kind of opened some eyes, like I said earlier. And just,
I guess that was their running back. I was wrong. It was their quarterback.
Yes.
We'll see their quarterback here.
You know what we really need? I just thought about this. We need like Wabash Cannonball playing in the background, like the old Darryl Royal highlight show used to do.
That defensive end was a cannonball hitting that running back.
No kidding. He was really, really strong. In fact, he's been doing well all year. Look at the way they're just
swarming,
coming in there. And like I said, you know, this is Brennan. I mean, this isn't just some 0-10 team. This is one of the premier programs in the state.
This was an 11-0 team.
Yeah, and look at this. They're just they did really well, and that's kind of an eye-opener. That's an eye-opener because I picked Brennan. I thought Brennan would definitely win this game, and Steele is really playing well right now. Here's a play right here. They had him
running back again.
They had him about 5 times behind, and he somehow managed to get through. And
here's their defense.
That's again. Impressive right there. Wow,
give them no holes.
That's impressive. But you know, Steele's always played good defense. The year they won state, that defense was they manhandled everybody, and they're starting to do it again.
Here's their quarterback showing off his arm.
Nice play. Yeah. The running game is usually what everybody talks about, but they can pass just like Brandeis.
Yeah, and there's another tackle in the backfield for their defense. Their defense also forces turnovers.
Yes, they do. They've done that all year, and that's pretty much their trademark.
And he may have my favorite name of any athlete in the area, but he is second on the Knights with 3 interceptions. Jubius Cloud.
That's a classic name. It's really, if that's not a football name, that's
no. Well, Steele, they look tough.
Now, see, that's what I was talking about, the speed. I mean, that speed we just saw against Brennan, that wasn't the Valley team, that was Brennan.
Brennan, yeah.
I mean, and Brennan, to me, is one of the fastest team in the city.
Yeah.
And to be able to do that against them, that kind of woke your eyes. I mean, open your eyes, and wow. And that's the first play of the game.
And the way they stuffed the Brennan offense.
Yeah, that was very impressive. But to score like that on Brennan, the first play of the game, was that got my attention. That's my 3rd game of the day. I'm kind of half groggy and whoa, mama, look at this, and then boom, here he goes. And I thought, okay, so let's see what happens next. And they show what next.
Well, Brandeis, they're a different animal than Brennan. They'll
completely different.
They'll be a little more balanced.
And we got our first call from the Katy Tigers, or the Manville, whatever Manville's mascot.
We don't know what they are. They're not in our region.
And they say, "Look out, one of us will be playing you next week." That sounds very good. Well, we'll see you. We have no idea who. So get off the phone. We got business to do.
So
okay.
let's take a quick watch of some of the Brandeis highlights from this season. He's got one of my favorite nicknames, Straight Ahead Tommy Woods. He only runs up and down, and then Jalen Dukes, he'll do the shifting, and Lozano at quarterback.
He does the passing.
And he's got Hall and
Gennard
down there doing the catching.
And don't forget that offensive line. Like last week, I forget against Johnson. I wish I could remember which kid it was. Made a monstrous block on a reverse that just, if we could, we ought to make that block of the year because it was fabulous.
Until they have to make the block of their life against Steele.
But that'll be interesting. But you know, John Campbell will have that team well coached, well prepared. They don't have the speed maybe or the blue chippers like a Steele, but Brandeis just wins. That's all there is to it. Brandeis just finds ways to win. They do things right.
So here's Brandeis versus Johnson from 2 weeks ago. That defense of the Broncos.
Typical Brandeis defense. They're just aggressive. They come after the quarterback like there's nothing left.
They might want to. I'm sure Campbell will work on this, but they're probably going to want to spy, because if they get too aggressive with the Steele quarterback, that's when he'll burn them, and there won't be anyone there to stop them.
Yeah, they can't be too overly aggressive and overrun the plays, but heck, Campbell's staff, they'll have something in mind. Look at that, that's a nice play.
If they do pass it, they'll be there to break it up. So here on offense,
good old smash mouth football. They run the ball, they pass the ball. Let's see what he is. There he goes, Jalen Dukes. Good, not much there, but you know, he's still a hard little runner. He's had bigger runs, but he just gets every yard he can get. And
camera work.
There he goes, and I'm sure I see. Look at it. There he goes. That's another good one right there. And they're just going down the gut. They're just pushing it down, and Brandeis likes to do that. That is their trademark. But we're going to see something hopefully on one of these highlights. There he goes, right in the end zone.
Breaking his way into the end zone.
But they do not live by the run alone.
No. And then when they're back on defense,
they just swarm.
They're like the orange swarm. In Lufkin we had the purple swarm. Here they got the orange swarm.
And they've done that every maybe it has something to do with both the schools having the same
alma mater.
Yeah. And that's what has made Brandeis different this year is the passing. Look how smooth that pass was.
Probably their best game this year though was that one against O'Connor.
They just that really surprised me. I still has the way
they're swarming again.
About the way they swarm and just controlled every area of the game. And there he goes again. There he goes again.
There's to Gennard. Now one thing they're going to have to do really well against Steele is block.
Yes, and they usually do a very good job of that. That's one time maybe not, but I give O'Connor credit for coming off the ball.
But if the run doesn't work,
here's what happens.
Here's what they can
this
do.
Is a really nice play right there.
Lozano to Hall.
Unbelievable.
This year Hall has 50 catches, 1,174 yards, and 10 touchdowns. Going a little bit farther back, here is Brandeis versus Clark. That was a key zone
it was a big battle. And here we go again. Look at him. Now watch this.
He was wearing a different jersey that night.
Look at that run. That kind of set the tone right there. Like my goodness. And once he gets loose,
I didn't hear the full story on why he had switched to 36 for that game. I think it was something happened to his 34 jersey. He got ripped or
not sure. 34, 36.
It doesn't matter what number.
It doesn't matter what number he can play.
And there's
some
defense.
More.
That quarterback for Clark was pretty shifty.
He was a swift player. He could cause trouble to anybody. and they know it. They know they're going to have to play probably their best game of the year.
Straight ahead, Tommy Woods again.
Goodness. And see, a lot of times Tommy doesn't get all the credit because mostly with Jalen Dukes, but
he's still
he can
487 yards and 6 touchdowns this year.
Unbelievable.
And that was almost, that could have been the catch of the year.
That would have been the catch of the year if that he'd have made that one. That would have been my choice.
Lozano just showing off the arm strength.
You know what I like about him is how calm he is. He's as calm under fire as you can get. He just knows how to run an offense. Whether it's running the ball, passing the ball, he's a leader. He knows how to get it going.
Yeah. Well, we've seen what both teams will bring to Alamo Stadium this Saturday. So now it's time for that part of the show we always love to do, and that's prediction time. Steele or Brandeis? Who do you have?
Oh gosh, you know you got to go with Steele right now, just because of the speed and the way they're playing. But yeah, Brandeis is just Brandeis. They always find ways to win, but I just got to give Steele the edge right now. Just what they've done in the past 2 weeks, especially against Brennan. I mean, it looks like they have actually kicked it in gear.
Like they're on a road
yeah,
somewhere.
I think so.
Yeah. So you're picking Steele.
Very carefully. So yeah, I will pick Steele.
You know, one guy we haven't mentioned in all of our watching the highlights of Brandeis today is their kicker, Patricio Botello. I think he might be the reason that Brandeis could win this game. And I'm not saying he's going to kick a last-minute field goal, but at some point he's going to kick a field goal that gives them some kind of momentum, or maybe flips the switch at halftime, and he's going to give them a little boost that gives them enough.
But see, you might have done that. You might have just helped Brandeis, because the last time you made that prediction, they played O'Connor, and that was a pretty good Brandeis victory.
And
so
that was, and I picked that one to end on the last minute field goal.
Omen that's scaring the crap out of me right now.
Well, I hope it's a freaky omen for Brandeis, and that we get to talk about them playing either Katy or Manville.
That would be wonderful. That'd be wonderful to see that matchup, especially if it's Manville, because that'd be 2 new high schools.
That'd be 2, yeah.
And I would love to see that. Yeah. Maybe playing it in the Alamo Dome.
Maybe, or we may be making some trip up to Austin or Waco or College Station.
Wherever they play, it'll be nice to see Brandeis get there.
Yeah. So next week we're going to have possibly that, but for sure we'll have the basketball district preview. So we hope you'll come back and join us for that. And if not, well, that's your loss.